Sitcoms have given us unforgettable characters, endless laughs, and moments we still quote years later. Today, we're counting down the top 10 best sitcoms of all time. Stick around till the end to see which show takes the #1 spot, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more lists like this.
Okay, everyone, shut up and look at me. Welcome to Visions of Nature.
Number 10, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. 9-9. Just hearing that chant already puts a smile on your face. Brooklyn Nine-Nine isn't your average cop show. Sure, there are precinct suspects and interrogations, but instead of gritty realism, we get a hilarious and heartwarming squad of misfits who somehow make fighting crime feel like a family reunion. Jake Peralta, the goofball detective with a love for Die Hard, has to grow up fast when the stone-faced Captain Holt takes over the precinct. Add in Amy Santiago's overachieving charm, Rosa Diaz's tough-as-nails attitude, Boyle's relentless loyalty, Terry's mix of muscles and dad energy, and the chaos of Scully, Hitchcock, and Gina. And you've got one of the most lovable ensembles ever put on TV. What makes Brooklyn Nine-Nine so special is that beneath the comedy, it quietly tackles themes of friendship, growth, and even social issues, without ever losing that feel-good vibe. It's clever, it's wholesome, and most importantly, it's hilarious.
Everyone, I'm your new commanding officer, Captain Ray Holt.
Speech!
That was my speech.
I love that guy.
Same.
Number 9, Scrubs. If Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the sitcom that makes you laugh with its wacky squad, Scrubs is the one that sneaks up and punches you right in the heart. Set in the chaotic halls of Sacred Heart Hospital, Scrubs follows the endlessly daydreaming J.D. Dorian as he learns the ropes of being a doctor with his best friend Turk, the blunt and brutally funny Dr. Cox, and the whole unforgettable crew. What sets Scrubs apart is this unique blend of slapstick comedy and raw, emotional storytelling. One moment you're laughing at JD's absurd fantasies, and the next you're tearing up at the harsh realities of life and death inside a hospital. It's this balance, ridiculous humor mixed with gut-punch drama, that made Scrubs stand out from every other sitcom of its time. And let's be real, if Brendan Fraser's guest appearance didn't wreck you emotionally, did you even watch Scrubs?
Help me to help you, Barbie. Help me to help you. Help me to help you.
Number 8, That 70s Show. Sometimes the best sitcoms don't just make you laugh. They teleport you to another time. That 70s Show did exactly that. Set in the suburbs of Wisconsin during the groovy days of the late 70s, this sitcom captured the awkwardness, friendships, and growing pains of teenage life with a retro twist. We hung out in Eric Foreman's basement right alongside Donna, Jackie, Kelso, Hyde, and Fez, watching them navigate love, rebellion, and more than a few smoke-filled circles. With its sharp writing, running gags, and pitch-perfect cast, yes, even a young Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, this show was pure nostalgia even as it aired. And while most sitcoms fade after their finale, That 70s Show lived on. Its spin-off, The 90s Show, brought a whole new generation back to Point Place. But let's be real, the magic of the original basement crew can never truly be replicated.
I'm telling you the truth, it's not mine.
Okay, fine. Well, I don't care whose it is, I'm throwing it in the lake.
Well, I paid $20 for that.
Number 7, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If most sitcoms are comfort food, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a flaming shot of whiskey that you regret immediately, but can't stop ordering. This series follows the worst people alive: Mac, Charlie, Dee, Dennis, and of course Frank Reynolds, played by Danny DeVito, as they run the most dysfunctional bar in South Philly. They're selfish, they're scheming, and they're morally bankrupt in ways that somehow keep topping themselves. What makes Sunny legendary is its sheer audacity. No topic is too taboo, no joke too dark. It's the kind of show where you find yourself laughing at things you probably shouldn't, but that's the point. After all, Sunny isn't about heroes or role models, it's about watching a train wreck of narcissism in slow motion, and somehow enjoying every second of it. And the wildest part? It's now the longest-running live-action sitcom in American TV history. 18 seasons deep, and the gang is still just as unhinged as day one. Truly, no one does bad behavior better.
They're compliments from the chef.
We don't want compliments, we want food. If I wanted a compliment, I'd walk into a bar.
Number 6, How I Met Your Mother. Few sitcoms have blended romance, comedy, and mystery quite like How I Met Your Mother. Now, on the surface, it's the story of Ted Mosby telling his kids how he met their mom. But really? It's about friendship, heartbreak, and the unpredictable chaos of trying to find love in New York City. We got Marshall and Lily, the heart of the group, Robin as the independent career woman, and Barney Stinson, the outrageous legend who turned Suit Up into an anthem. And through it all, we had Ted, the hopeless romantic whose search for the one kept us hooked for 9 seasons. What set Hayom YM apart was its clever storytelling, non-linear timelines, an unreliable narrator, running gags, and plot twists that range from hilarious to heartbreaking. And while the finale divided fans, there's no denying its cultural impact. This wasn't just a sitcom, it was a journey. And for better or worse, we were all in it until the very last story.
Because time will heal a broken heart. But not that bitch's window.
Number 5. Friends. When you think of sitcoms, there's one name that instantly comes to mind. Friends. This wasn't just a show, it was a cultural event. For 10 seasons, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Joey, Chandler, and Ross turned Manhattan into our second home, making us laugh, cry, and quote along the way. From the iconic orange couch at Central Perk to Chandler's sarcastic one-liners, Joey's lovable cluelessness, and Ross's legendary, we were on a break. Friends gave us more than just punchlines. It gave us a reminder that in the chaos of adulthood, friendships are family. Even decades later, Friends is still one of the most rewatched shows on streaming, proving that its charm is timeless. Whether it's your first watch or your 50th, it feels like catching up with old friends who never left.
Break his heart, that's the kind of thing that can wait.
Yeah, but if it's good news, you should tell him now.
I don't know. Maybe I'll know when I see him. Here, look. All right, does this help?
Number 4. The Big Bang Theory. If Friends showed us life in the big city, The Big Bang Theory proved that nerd culture could dominate primetime television. We followed Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj, 4 brilliant but socially awkward scientists, as their world turned upside down when Penny, their aspiring actress neighbor, walked into their lives.
Oh, hi.
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 Hi?
What started as science jokes and awkward encounters grew into one of TV's most successful ensembles, complete with unforgettable characters like Amy Farrah Fowler and Bernadette. The beauty of The Big Bang Theory was its balance, mixing physics references with slapstick comedy, heartwarming friendships, and plenty of pop culture nods. 12 seasons later, it had become a juggernaut, topping ratings and turning catchphrases like bazinga into household words. It wasn't just a show about geeks, it was proof that even the most unlikely characters can build a family of their own.
Is there anything about me you're keeping inside?
I'm not answering that. It's a trap.
So there are things you don't like.
And here I am in the trap.
Number 3. Parks and Recreation. Some sitcoms make you laugh, some make you feel good. Parks and Recreation somehow did both, while also inspiring you to believe in waffles, friendship, and the power of local government. At the heart of it all was Leslie Knope, the eternally optimistic public servant played by Amy Poehler, whose love for her town of Pawnee was matched only by her love of binders and breakfast food. Surrounding her was one of the most unique ensembles in sitcom history: Ron Swanson's deadpan wisdom, Tom Haverford's over-the-top schemes, April's dark sarcasm, and Andy Dwyer's lovable goofball energy. What made Parks and Rec special was its sincerity. Beneath the quirky jokes and mockumentary style was a story about people trying, sometimes failing, but always trying, to make their community better. And in a world that often feels cynical, that sincerity made it shine even brighter. By the end, it wasn't just a comedy, it was a masterclass in hopes, heart, and humor.
It's not like I'm some kind of sex-crazed maniac or something.
Leslie, are you pregnant? Did you or did you not leave this positive pregnancy test in a dumpster in the woods?
Number 2. Seinfeld. Before Seinfeld, sitcoms were about families, lessons, and tidy endings. Then along came Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer, 4 neurotic New Yorkers who made a show about absolutely nothing into one of the greatest sitcoms ever created. This wasn't about dramatic arcs or heartfelt hugs at the end of the episode. Seinfeld thrived in the absurdity of everyday life, waiting in line at a restaurant, losing your car in a parking garage, or debating the correct etiquette for regifting. Somehow those tiny moments became laugh-out-loud cultural landmarks. Kramer's entrances, George's meltdowns, Elaine's sass, and Jerry's deadpan stand-up interludes created a rhythm of comedy that felt fresh and unpredictable. In doing so, Seinfeld didn't just make us laugh. It reshaped television, a true classic that proved the little things in life can be the funniest of all.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What do you mean by that?
Enjoy.
Number 1, The Office, U.S. And finally, the number 1 sitcom, the one that turned awkward silences, petty arguments, and the monotony of office life into pure comedy gold, The Office. Filmed in a mockumentary style, The Office dropped us right into the Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin, where paper sales were dull, but the people were unforgettable. At the center was Michael Scott, Steve Carell's cringeworthy yet oddly lovable boss, whose desperate need to be liked led to some of the most painfully hilarious moments in TV history. But what made The Office timeless wasn't just the jokes, it was the heart. The slow-burn romance of Jim and Pam, Dwight's bizarre loyalty, Stanley's apathy, Creed's chaos, and the way each quirky character felt like someone you've actually worked with. By the time the finale aired, millions of fans weren't just watching a sitcom, they were saying goodbye to coworkers who had become family. And that's why The Office sits at the very top, because it turned the ordinary into something extraordinary, and in doing so, it became more than just a sitcom. It became a comfort show for an entire generation.
Jim, tell him bears can climb faster than they can run. Jim, tell him!
Andy, that's too far.